now, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone who wishes to lay a wreath, you come to the front here, please. Big welcome to everybody, and a thanks to some societies, associations, MLAs, councillors, bands, law orders for your continuous support, and welcome to our annual parade. I will now hand you over.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to see everybody out today. It's great that it's put on every year. I know Darren and the rest of the Millisle Somme group put their heart into this here, so it's good that everybody's come along and everybody's a good. Hopefully the weather will turn out. So I'll be short. I asked him what he wanted me to talk on, and he said just give a brief bit of history of the Somme. Well, more so the Ulster Division. You know, when we look back in September 1914, we had probably one of the most influential political leaders of all time. Probably if we had him now, we'd be in a better place. Carson already, along with others, had already raised the volunteer force. And by September 1914, then he was asked then to step forward and form a division that would go off to France for King and Country. With this, he raised 13 battalions, and the battalions all formed up now to make the 36th Ulster Division, the famous 36th Ulster Division. From that, we have 3 infantry brigades. Within those brigades, the first was 107th. The 107th consisted of all the Belfast volunteers, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th and the 15th Rifles. So that's our East Belfast is the 8th, our 9th Belfast is West, the 10th Belfast is South, and the 15th Rifles, they were the North Belfast. When it comes to the 108th then, we have the 9th Royal Irish Fusiliers, we have the 11th and 12th Rifles, which is our South and Central Antrims, and then of course our 13th Rifles, which is our first County Down volunteers, our own people from our own district. The 109th, the final brigade, goes to the 109th, and we have 3 skin battalions, the 9th, 10th and 11th skins, and then not to forget the 14th Rifles, which was our YCBs. Last but not least, the 13th battalion that was formed was the 16th Rifles, our second County Down volunteers. That was our 16th Pioneers of the Royal Irish Rifles. When it gets to July, we formed up to get to July of 15. They end up in Seaford in Sussex on the coast. Final part of their training then in October, they head off to France. And some smart decision by the British Army decided that maybe that the Ulster Division would work better if they were split up at the start. Some of them ended up in the 4th Division to get them used to trench life. But they soon realised, like us all gathered here today, we've all one thing in common. We're all unionists, we all work together, or we try to work together, and we try to have stick together for the better. And that was no different then. The Ulster Division, they soon realised by early 16, we're talking about February 1916, that the Ulster Division worked together, not with the English, but with themselves. So they took over a lot of the front line from Sayre Road down to Millisle over to Ocean Fillers. And then by March we had the 14th Rifles of the 109th Brigade taking over the front line of Thiepval Wood. And that's the bit where a lot of us get mixed up. We all just mentioned the Somme. It's all the Somme. So even before the Somme, we're on the front line. By May we have our first fatalities, with the 14th Rifles take bombardment from the Germans in the front line of Thiepval Wood, and some of them then are interned in Auteuil. By the end of June then we take another hit with the 13th Rifles when a stray shell lands in between Millisle and Martinsart. So these young men that left the shores here never even got a chance to walk up and go by where the Ulster Tower is today to attack the Hun. When the 1st of July comes, they form up. We all know the story. A gallant, heroic advance upon the enemy. It'll never, probably never ever be done again, and it'll never be scrubbed off the history books. From that day to the 2nd of July when they were brought back into Millisle, that we know by this stage with 1,792 fatalities dead. And when you talk about 1,792, it's 1,792 families that a generation missed out on. It's not just a number. It's 1,792 generations that were never, of unionists, of loyalist people, that would never follow on from that. When we get to 1917, I'll try and keep this as brief as I can, they then have a gallant attack at Messines Ridge. This is the first time in Belgium at any time that they fight side by side with the 16th Irish Division. Same objective, but the order of this is that when you go to a place called, what the Tommies called White Sheets or Waishita, that you will see a 16th Irish memorial, but no 36 Ulster memorial. And yet they were the ones who captured the right-hand side and into the black line. From there we go to the end of July. 31st of July to November starts the third battle of Ypres. And within that battle, you would all probably know it as the Battle of Passchendaele, or the Battle of Passchendaele. The Ulster Division form again for the second time, where the Irish Division fight in the right-hand flank up towards what's known as the Battle of Langemarck. This is where, if you ever go to Timecott, you'll see the August dates, the 16th of August and so on, men brought back, lifted from the battlefields, are interned in Timecott Cemetery. Again, they move on in 17, they go to the Battle of Cambrai. Famous battle, famous for the advance of the tanks and so on. Again, the Ulster Division take part, and they take part in the Battle of Bourlon Wood, which they are again very successful. By the start of 1918, Nugent gets shipped elsewhere, and this is a sad bit. Sometimes you think about it, the sacrifice that was made. The question was asked that there was no influx of Ulster men making their way across to join the Ulster Division. So why should it still be called the 36th Ulster Division? If you look back at the 2 years previous to that there, the sacrifice that was made, the advance that was made, the ground that was captured, and the young boys that lie there in foreign fields tells that story. And that's why it remained Ulster in the Ulster Division. By then it all changes. We have the first Royal Irish Fusiliers coming in, the first Royal Irish Rifles, second Royal Irish Rifles, who have mainly nationalist connections. Doesn't go down well. The 4 battalions turn down the 3 battalions, and still they march on. We go on to 1918 with St Quentin, the Battle of St Quentin again. Young man with Cumber connections, the wind, gets a VC. As the enemy attacks, he gets onto the parapet, he takes a gun and grenades, and he fends off the enemy, and he is never seen again. He's mentioned on Pozieres Memorial. Out of all this here, they then fight on. There's more battles, we have more battle honours, as we see our standards, Courtois, we have Lies, and so on. All these different battles are different badges that are formed that match the heroic advance of every battle of the Ulster Division fought in the First World War. And that's why it's important today that we still remember them. And that's why we have these song groups, we have the bands. We need to stick together and remember those who fought and fell. Just one thing I would like to, I wrote this a wee while ago, I'd like to finish with. It's probably similar to a prayer, and it says, "Faithful God, comfort all who mourn the loss of loved ones today. Remember those who fought against all the odds and the bravery of those who overcome their fears. Help us to remember those who fell in the roars of battle and died in the mire and the mud of the trenches and in no man's land. Hear us as we remember those who survived the battles but returned home wounded in mind and body. And remember the anxiety and pain of those losses of fathers, brothers, uncles and sons of those family homes." And it says this, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." Thanks very much.
Thank you. Now we're going to conduct our act of remembrance. They shall not grow old, as we are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. Now, if we go the wreaths, I'd like to come up one at a time, please. Thank you. If the colour party could fall in and the reef flares fall back in, and we'll continue our parade back up to the Legion. Thank you.